I sort of hoped I would. Didn't really expect it, but it was good to receive. Yeah.
I saw your tweet. You mentioned the entire team versus just taking the credit for yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
How important is it for you and your brothers to like keep shining?
Yeah. Well, without them, there's no punt at all. So it's sort of a lot of people look at the punter and give him a lot of credit, but there's people down there down on the ball. There's people protecting, so they don't rush to me, and I can take more time. Those guys do an outstanding job. They've done it all year, so I can't thank them enough, and they deserve more credit than I do. Really, they do more than me.
Was it something that you were just feeling that night, or was there even something that App State showed that allowed you to know that you could punt in those situations like that?
Yeah, during the week, I was watching film in App State. They sort of go with they're mostly hold up, so they don't really rush too much. So they were sitting back. They're more worried about securing for the fake and that type of stuff. So we had a few different punt formations in as well, which we put in. They sort of looked like they were fake formations, but they weren't. So App State was sort of sitting back, not really knowing what was going on. It gave me the time to take more time with the football, get hang time, wild balls in my hand. All the guys can run down, and I can pinpoint it down inside the 10. So I think, it helped with that. Film study always helps with that because you can see how much they rush and how much they hold up. And they bring in their number 3. I can't remember his name now. He comes in and it's a rush. So he came in on the 5th punt, I think. So that was the one where I really knew I had to get rid of it quick. But other than that, I sort of could tell that they weren't coming after it.
At what point, is it the second, is it the third? Which one that lands inside the 5, even the one that they ended up going in the end zone? Which one is it like, all right, I'm on it.
Probably the first one, to be honest. The first punt of the day, it's a bit of a confidence booster if it's a good one. Punting's pretty mental, to be honest. So if you get a good one away early, you feel pretty good. You try and feel pretty good if you get a bad one away early too, but it always helps when it rolls down there.
How much do you guys work on downing it as opposed to you just working on your kick?
We work every Thursday. We end with a few hang punts. So I'll kick from about the 40 and do that drop punt, kick and try and land it inside, and Percy and Mike and Ray and all those guys will run down there and get their heels on the goal line and practice keeping it in. So maybe I need to get Paul Bujo in there next time to start working on it, but we'll see.
So just like one period once a week?
Well, we have punt periods where we do rugbies throughout the week, and it's sort of like, if it's not the hang punt situation, these punts this week weren't the hang punt situation either, really. They're sort of 60 yards away from the goal line, which is not normally hang, but they know that if the returner's coming up, we've got the tackles and guards eligible for tackling him and to get the flyers to the goal line. So, yeah, those guys practice running down there every time, basically, if it's close enough. Yeah.
What was your initial reaction with the sundial? Did you kind of expect it, obviously, with a big game?
No, I didn't really know too much about it, to be honest. I didn't really know it was too much of an award. So one of my family members back home actually saw it before I did, which I don't know how. They sent it to me like 2 minutes after it happened. So I think they were happy, so I was happy that they were happy. It was all good.
What's kind of that been like, seeing the reaction back home and then obviously
Yeah.
around here?
Yeah, that's probably the best part about it. So just how proud mum and dad get and that kind of thing. So it's more so for them to see, which is good. They don't really know a whole lot about the sport. They don't understand it really. So a lot of the time they don't really know what's good and what's not good. So it was good for them to see that something went good.
Are they at the Texas Southern game?
Yes, sir.
Parents were there?
Yeah.
And you didn't play, so like,
Yeah.
did they think you had done something wrong?
Yeah, they did think I'd done something wrong. Yeah, Mum sort of at half-time was like, why haven't you been on the field? What's going on? I thought coach wasn't playing me because I'd done something wrong during the week. So I had to explain her quickly at half-time that it wasn't something I was doing wrong. The offense was just doing so good. So it's been like that a lot this year. The offense just been moving the ball well, and I'm sort of just sitting back and got good front row seats to watch the offense, which has been good. So getting the tables turned last week was a bit different.
What's the biggest part of your game that you had to adjust, grow in the year and a half that you've been playing?
Probably getting out there and just feeling comfortable, to be honest. The first probably 6 games last year, I was pretty rushed, and every time I'd get back there, I'd just be thinking, just get it off, like don't get blocked, get off a good ball. I'd always be worrying in my head, whereas now when I get out there, I can look at the formation they've got, know what's going on. I know their returner. I know a lot more about him, and if he's rolling right, I know that I can kick it back left and that type of thing. Whereas last year, I was just looking straight at Jackson, who was our snapper last year, and just going, please hit a good ball. Like, I wasn't very confident at all. So more so a confidence thing that has been developed over time, and I'm feeling really good at the moment.
Arkansas State on film, are they similar to App or a little different?
They're pretty similar. I think they've only rushed 10%, they're 85% hold up. So I don't know though. You never know, because you see me taking time with the ball, they might try and come after it. So we'll see what they do. But if they want to come after it, that's fine. I'll just let the guys get a free release down the field and get on their returner pretty quick.
Making the transition here, was there any punter from college or pro that you kind of looked at to try them out of your game after?
Yeah, there was. I went to Pro Kick Australia, as a lot of you guys might know, and they've got 70 or so Division 1A punters at the moment, so FBS. So I think this year I play 8 Pro Kick people alone that I know and I'm friends with, so that's pretty cool. So I look up to, there's a couple of the guys that were older in the program. Max Duffy, he's one of my best friends. He's about 25. He's at Kentucky. He's number 1 in the country at the moment. I'm always messaging him back and forth. Adam Corsack at Rutgers, I think he's 7th in the country at the moment. I get along well with those guys. They're my same class, so I've always looked up to those guys. My coach back home, Nathan Chapman, he's been huge for me. If I have a bad game or if anything's going wrong at practice, I can send him film and he just corrects it straight away. I don't know how he knows so much about it, but he does. He's good with it. So, yeah, those guys are big for me.
How cool is that to see? Like, how cool is that to see all of those people?
Yeah, it's unreal. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, having so much success all across.
Yeah, it's unreal. Like, when you're playing against another Australian, like, it's sort of weird. I'm hoping he punts good, but then I don't want him to punt good because I don't want to be too far pinned back. So most of them are my friends, so it's sort of hard to go in between. But just to see so many guys from the same academy and how good they've done over there, Pro Kick Australia-wise, to get people over here and really change people's lives for the better and get people a scholarship and a degree and that kind of thing is pretty cool. Yeah.
Did your parents come in just for the Texas Southern game?
Nah, mum was there for 3 games, so luckily, but she came for the first 3. Yeah, and Dad's been watching them all on TV. The whole family wakes up early Sunday morning and watches them, so I appreciate them doing that. That's pretty cool for them.
It was just her.
It was just, Mum and my uncle and auntie came into the Texas Southern game. So they were there, and that was their only game they went to, so they were a bit disappointed. Yeah.
So how much more do you know about the game than you did a year ago, and what were some of the things that were the toughest thing that you didn't really know about the game until you played it over?
Yeah, so much more. Like, I didn't think that I'd know. I didn't think there was this much to football as much as there is. Like all the meetings and the film review and that, I sort of, when you're watching back home, you sort of just think they go out there and just call the play, like, and sort of run it. I never thought that this much went into every single player has a different role and that kind of thing. So the biggest thing for me has just been getting used to all the meetings and going to them and learning all the plays. But my job is pretty simple, to be honest. I just go out there and punt it. So luckily I haven't had to learn too much, which has been good.
What was the reaction of the guys last year when y'all beat Arkansas State? How big
When we
was it
beat?
for you guys?
That was huge. Yeah, that was probably my favourite game of the year last year. It was a pretty crazy game as well. So it was good to get the win. I didn't know a whole lot about them coming in, but I'd heard throughout the week that they were our rivals, and it basically decides the West if we beat them. So it's a huge game. It's going to be huge again this week, and I can't wait to come away to win. Yeah.
If you weren't playing punter, what position would you want to play?
Would I want to play? I'd probably want to play quarterback, but I can't throw. But I'd like to play quarterback just because they get the most recognition, really. It's pretty cool. Everyone knows the quarterback, so that'd be good fun. Yeah.
Keep one like that. I mean,
Yeah. But quarterback's always a cool dude, so it'd be good to play quarterback.